Okay, now we're going to talk about angle relationships when you have certain conditions. So, one of the first conditions is you have a set of parallel lines, and it'll tell you that those lines are parallel by showing you those two arrows. So, they're saying, hey, by the way, these two lines are parallel. And then there's going to be this other line that crosses the parallel lines. And that line right there is called a transversal. Here's another transversal, but we're going to focus on the one that I've highlighted in blue. They're wanting you to understand the relationship between angles A and B. Here is the way that I often show my students. So imagine we put a box. Notice there are four angles right there. Anytime you form an X, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 angles, right? So we're going to focus on the four angles. I'm going to get that out of the way because I think that'll just be a distraction. And I'm going to number them. So angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4. And then down below, there's also four angles. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4. And notice what we have in the exact same location in corresponding parts. We have the same. A and B are both in the upper left corner of those four angles. That's what makes those correspond. And corresponding angles are congruent. So angle A is congruent to angle B for the reason that they are corresponding angles. So notice this angle right here, this angle right here are corresponding. Both angle 2's are corresponding, and both angle 3's are corresponding. If they are in think about it being the same location, but in corresponding parts. So this part and this part, those are going to correspond to each other, and angle A and angle B correspond. Okay, now let's talk about alternate interior and alternate exterior. So again, we have our parallel lines. That's very key. And notice between the parallel lines, this is called the interior. So between the two parallel lines, this is the interior part. All right? And notice it says alternate interior. Well, look at what we have here. We have angle B is on the left side. Angle A. Angle B is on the right side. Well, those are alternate sides. So what we know about alternate interior angles, they are also congruent. So angle A is congruent to angle B because they are alternate interior angles to each other. What I really should point out, notice when you have these two parallel lines cut off by a transversal, they make two types of angles. all of the acute angles, only one C, all of the acute angles are congruent, so corresponding, alternate interior and vertical, and all of the obtuse angles. Whoops. There's only two types, acute or obtuse, unless you cut off a transversal. Transversal cuts off parallel lines, and all of them form right angles. Then all of the angles equal each other because they're all 90. Okay, so alternate interior are when the angles on alternate sides fall between the parallel lines. The alternate exterior, notice, so the angles that are not on the interior, so notice we don't have any angles marked in here. That's the interior. What we do have marked are angles on the exterior. And notice angle A is on the left side, angle B is on the right side. Those are alternate sides. So angle A is congruent to angle B for the reason they are alternate exterior angles. That's the relationship. Okay. Then we've got a couple of other kind of interesting cases. Same side interior, and then there's going to be a same side exterior. These used to be called consecutive. So sometimes you're going to see the word consecutive instead of same side. They mean the same thing. So we've got an A, B. Let's just do it this way. Even though those are adjacent, two angles, one right after the other, those are called consecutive or same side interior. So here's our parallel lines. Here's our transversal. And notice we've got angles on the interior again. But this time, they are on the same side. Look at what we have. We have this obtuse, and we have this angle is acute. Well, look at these others. Here's an acute, here's an obtuse. They sit on a straight line. Acute, obtuse, they sit on a straight line, and all angles that sit on a straight line add up to 180. So if we were to take this acute right here, leave it there, but see this obtuse? Well, it's in the same location as this obtuse. Well, these two add up to 180. Therefore, same side interior angles, so the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B add up to 180 degrees. Every single time. Whether they are same side interior or same side. Oh, did I not put that on here? I did not. Same side exterior. So for example, let's take this transversal over here. This angle right here, this angle right here, One's acute, slightly obtuse. They are on the same side, but on the exterior. I'll call this angle C and angle D. So the measure of angle C plus the measure of angle D also add up to 180 degrees, and that's because of same side or consecutive exterior. All right, that's it for this one.